Can we get this microphone to work? Will this one work? All right. Hey, everybody. That was an incredible story. I just want to thank you for being brave to talk about your experience and the surprise that you had within your development team. I think that's super important, and it's important for us to tell those kinds of stories. And, you know, it's part of history. So, wow, I'm not totally hungover. Yeah, I think the only antidote for this is going to be for me to tell you all a story about desire and play. Okay. So this goes back into my history a little bit. And I'd like to thank Coach Nix for enabling my pervy gamer tendencies. I came of age in Columbus, Ohio. Any Ohioans? Ohio! What's round on the ends and high in the middle? Not just me, but Ohio. So I came of age in Columbus, Ohio in the 80s. And, you know, during that long ago time, coming of age in Columbus, Ohio in the 80s was pretty much coming of age growing up in a closet. But Coach Nix, the coach of our softball, volleyball, and basketball teams in my small Catholic school, was a glimmer of lesbian hope. She kind of showed me what lay over the rainbow, right, into the future of my life, which became much more fabulous when I moved to New York City for college. So I was just okay at sports. I kind of struggled. I was sort of gangly and awkward, and my elbows are really sharp, and they would tend to like stab people because I was a center in basketball, and I was always stabbing them with my sharp elbows. So be careful, you guys. Don't get near my elbows. But what I lacked on the court in terms of aggressiveness or grace, I definitely didn't have those. I brought, by being the team goofball, I was always the sort of class clown. And my favorite thing was to get in trouble by the coach, whose rules involved don't like talk or be lazy out in the outfield. You know, I used to just pick daisies. Make sure that your shoes are tied on the court. I always had a hard time with that for some reason. So I became adept at transgressing these rules, Coach Nix's rules, right when she was looking, savoring the punishment of running laps around the gym instead of participating in the team scrimmage. You know, I'd run these laps around the court, focusing my moony eyes on Coach Nix, drinking in all her details and her prowess over all of us, incanting phrases like, "Ladies, ladies, ladies, this isn't the mall, it's war!" I use that phrase all the time in my classrooms. Or, "Eyes on the ball, hit it, smack it, bruise it." I just made up that one. Her authoritarian voice really just penetrated my core. She had a sporty, feathered, short haircut. She wore form-fitting polyester coach shorts, you know, the kind of the utility pockets. She had her keys on a retractable chain. She wore tube socks, pulled all the way up, and a sleeveless tee showing off her muscly arms. That's my root, I think. And it was my first crush. You know, it was the prototype of all the ones to happen in the future. But if it wasn't for sports, If it wasn't for the power of games in our school, I wouldn't have a root. That would be a terrible thing. And so for me, and in my work, a lot of what I do is not just digital games, but a lot of physical games, designing different kinds of sports. I teach at Parsons, and I run a research lab there where we make games with the Red Cross, for instance, about disaster preparedness and a variety of other things. And for me, games are amazing, and they really do much more than what we imagine they do. And ultimately, I think what I mean is that play is where it's at. Play is the important aspect of games. And play is a kind of motto for all of us here in the next couple of days. I can't wait to play League of Legends with you guys, because I've never played it before. And I've never felt safe to play it before until, like, I look at all your friendly, smiling, beautiful faces and realize that, yeah, getting punished by all of you would be okay. But play really is our root as human beings, right? And really a defining pastime for us. You know, they say play is counterproductive. Good, I'm all for that. If queerness is about failing to conform to the norm, I'm also all for that. If being a gamer is embracing our collective waste of time playing video games, let's waste more time. Yeah, absolutely. And I think what makes all of us unique is not that we're gay or queer or whatever, however you identify, and not that we're gamers, but that we play, and we play differently. Our play is fueled by a variety of things, but one of the things that I think is really part of the fuel in the engine of play that we experience is desire. And I think we can embrace that desire, right? And use it. It's kind of our superpower, right? Playing through desire. So regardless of what's going on in the industry, in terms of representation, or different kinds of stories, I think we all have power in how we play and how we play games. You know, thinking back to the 80s or before, one of the ways in which communities outside the norm, whatever that might be, showed power was in how they actually play or consume media or transform it. Camp is a great example, right? Of, yeah, camp. It's a great movie. But, you know, of actually transforming things for ourselves, making them our own, and taking power and using it. So I think we all have choices about how we play. I think we can decide if we want to play, you know, in the scrimmage or run laps around it and have pleasure in all of those things. So all I have to say is let's go run some laps and play. I can't wait. Thanks, everyone. And thank you, Coach Nix. Thank you.